There's a sound a mother cow makes when she loses her calf. Once you've heard it, you don't forget it. She keeps it up long after you'd expect her to stop. She'll stand at the same fence, calling in the same direction, for days. You've probably driven past 100 cows and thought there wasn't much going on behind those eyes. A simple animal chewing grass, waiting for nothing. That sound is the first clue that you had it wrong. Because in the last few years, scientists have started to study what a cow actually thinks and feels. And what they found is stranger and far more tender than anyone expected from the animal we understand the least. Most of it comes back to one bond right at the center of her whole life. The one between a mother and her calf. These are the things a mother cow understands about her calf. Stay to the end, because the last one is the part almost nobody knows. And once you hear it, it lands differently than you expect. Let's just start at the very beginning, the first hour. The moment her calf is born, she starts to lick it. It looks like simple cleaning. It does much more than that. The licking warms the calf and gets its blood moving, and while she does it, she's learning her baby. Its smell, the exact sound of its first cries. Within an hour, she can pick her calf out of a crowd by scent and by voice alone. And the calf is learning her just as fast. Cattle are what biologists call a hider species. In the wild, a mother tucks her newborn down in the long grass, where it lies still, and slips back in secret to nurse it. That instinct to hide a calf and keep it close runs thousands of years deep. And one cow took it further than anyone saw coming. The animal welfare scientist John Webster spent his whole career with cattle, and he tells the story of one cow he never got over. She gave birth out in the field, and she behaved as if she knew her calf would be taken to be raised apart from her. So she did something no one taught her. She hid it. She tucked her newborn into the tall grass, in a spot nobody would think to look, and then she walked off and grazed, calm, as if nothing had happened. And every so often, when no one was watching, she slipped back to that corner to feed it and check on it, then rejoined the herd like she had no secret at all. Think about what that takes. She had to remember the spot, expect the loss before it came, and carry out a plan in secret over days. That's not blind instinct. That's a mother making a choice. And she will go a long way to keep her calf. Listen to a field of cattle and you hear one long, blurry chorus of mooing. For years, that's all we thought it was, noise. Then in 2019, researchers at the University of Sydney recorded hundreds of cattle calls and found something remarkable. Every cow has her own voice, a distinct individual voice that stays with her for life, the way you'd know a friend on the phone before they said their name. Mothers and calves use those voices. They keep up a private call and answer that belongs only to the two of them. In a crowd of 100 animals, she knows his cry, and he knows hers. So picture that mother at the fence one more time. She isn't making noise into the dark. She's calling the one name she has and listening, with everything she has, for the one voice that's meant to answer back. It isn't only her calf. A cow's whole world runs on bonds. The researcher Krista McLennan found something that changed how scientists see cattle. Cows have best friends. Out of a whole herd, a cow picks a few companions and stays close to them. And when McLennan measured their hearts, the proof was right there. A cow's heart beats slower and calmer next to her chosen friend. Separate the two and her stress climbs within minutes. Just like the pigs from our last video, cows catch each other's feelings. Fear moves through a herd, and so does calm. This is an animal built from the ground up for closeness, which is exactly why the next part hits so hard. Before we get there, one thing you need to know. Everything she feels rests on a single ability we spent centuries swearing she didn't have. A cow recognizes dozens of individuals, cattle and people both, and holds on to those faces for years. She remembers who was gentle with her and who was rough, and she treats them differently long after. She remembers places too, and which gate opens. And like pigs, a cow's mood colors what she expects from the world. A cow who's had a good life meets something new with hope. A cow who's had a hard one braces for the worst. She isn't stuck in a blank present. She's keeping track of her whole life. So her bond with her calf doesn't fade by morning. She keeps it in a memory built to last. And if this is already changing the way you see them, take a second to hit like and subscribe. We cover what farm animals actually feel, not what we assume they feel. Now, The next discovery is one of my favorites in all of animal science. Researchers gave young cows a puzzle, a panel they could press to open a gate and reach food. Then they watched the exact moment each cow worked it out. The instant it clicked, their hearts raced, and many of them leapt into the air and galloped off, kicking, the way you punch the air when you finally solve something hard. Scientists call it the eureka response, the joy of figuring something out measured on the cow's own body. Cows feel excitement. They feel the bright, clean happiness of a good day. And that cuts both ways. An animal that can leap for joy can feel its absence just as sharply. A heart that lifts like that can ache just as hard, which brings us back to that sound from the very beginning. When a mother and her calf are separated, both of them call out, over and over, for hours, sometimes for days. She paces the fence, turns toward where her calf went, and bellows. She eats little and rests less. And researchers see the same pattern every time. The longer the two were together, the harder the separation hits her. You can measure it in how long she keeps calling. Scientists are careful with a word like grief, and so am I. A feeling is hard to measure from the outside, but add up everything we've already seen. She knew her calf within an hour. She hid it to keep it. She calls it by name, remembers for years, and feels both joy and loss. Put that together and you're left with an animal who knows in her whole body when her calf is simply not there anymore. And here's the part almost nobody knows. The one I promised you at the start. Sometimes a mother and her calf are reunited after a long time apart. Months, sometimes years. And the people who see it describe the same scene over and over. The mother and her grown calf walk straight to each other. She lowers her head and grooms it, licks it, the same way she did on its very first morning. As if no time had passed at all, because she never stopped knowing it. She held on to its voice and its smell the whole time, carried it in that long memory, waiting just in case. That is the last thing a mother cow does for her calf. She keeps it, even when it's gone. And if it ever comes back, she knows it in an instant. So go back to where we started. The cow at the fence and the sound we told ourselves meant nothing. We told ourselves a small, comfortable story about her, that there isn't much behind those eyes. Every year, researchers find the opposite, a little louder. Behind those eyes is a mother who knows her calf within an hour, calls it in a voice meant for no one else, remembers it for years, and would know her child across any distance and any number of years. She's a someone. We just spend a very long time treating her like a something. A mother cow loves her calf. She always has. We were the ones who decided not to see it. If this changed how you see them, even a little, stay with us. Because next time, we're going to the animal we underestimate most of all, the hen. And what a mother hen says to her chicks before they have even hatched might be the most surprising thing yet.